Hello, gentles and ladymen. I am Bison Gaming, also known as now President Joe Bison, and I am joined by my good friend Steven. How's it going?
What's up?
Not much, and today I bring you a game with Inca. Now, Inca is free to play as of this week. The free to play civilizations have cycled, and they replaced Haudenosaunee with Inca. So I wanted to put out a video just showing kind of the basics of what you can do with Inca. Inca start out with a lot of wood and a lot of food. Generally, you can start with either a market and a concha house, which is what I'm opting for, or 2 concha houses, or a concha house and a trade post. But whatever you do, you're going to have a lot of food, because the main mechanic of Inca is going to be that they generate food. Now, this game is going to mostly be focused on explaining the Inca mechanics and showing a pretty standard build order for them, so that people who are newer to the game can help get into Inca, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. So even though this is a casted game, it will mostly be focused on Inca.
Yeah.
So our build order started with me just mining a little bit of coin, grabbing some coin treasures, and grabbing hunting dogs with the 100 wood, and then paying 170 wood for a concha house. So talk about Inca. Say things.
It's worth noting at this point. Like, let's click back on that concha house. So you're getting 0.6 second food per second, and if you look at your villagers on, gathering, let's wait for him to show up, 0.92. So basically, a concha house right now is worth 2/3 of a villager. Mm-hmm. So this is at this point in the build, or this point in the game, Inca is basically, British light, except unrateable because of those concha houses. So, like, don't underestimate how much value you get out of the concha houses here.
Indeed, they are expensive, but they are also worth it. I don't notice this guy for a little bit later because I'd forgotten, but Inca has a mechanic where every Age 1 shipment also comes with a chasqui, and the chasqui are basically just scouts that also have multipliers against mercenaries and can build town centers and trade posts. They're pretty cool. Yeah, overall.
They're the Inca unique scout, basically.
Indeed. 6.5 speed is nothing too shabby either. Now, to talk about their war chief really quickly, the war chief has the conversion ability, so you of course want to prioritize convertible treasure guardians like this bandit rifleman here that I have. And in addition, you also have a ranged area of effect attack that can be used against all units, not just treasure guardians, so you want to keep that one in mind as well. 2 area of effect is nothing to scoff at, and this will help you out quite a bit here. The war chief also has an aura that boosts native units, as you can see with this native scout, by 10% attack and HP, which is very, very nice.
So let's look at your age up here.
I am aging up with the chief. This gives us 2 builder travails.
And so what are you going to throw those into? Are you going to throw those into war huts, or are you going to throw those into concha houses?
Unfortunately, the game does not allow you to make war huts or even tambos. I think you can still make tambos with them, but the game will not allow you to make any military buildings with those two builder travel whatsoever. So the only option, really, since I already have a market, is either like a dock, but there's no fish here, or concha houses. So I'm opting for basically a 2 concha house age up here. And I'm setting most of my economy to wood so I can afford a war hut, and then start my concha house boom, is the intention.
Nice.
Now, the native civs, of course, have only 5 different politicians, and you can only use each politician 1 time. And every single age up, the politicians just get stronger and stronger. Basically, is how they function. So you need to pick when you use each politician very, very carefully. Now, if I did get stolen here, which really, really sucks, but it is what it is.
Yep. But with that scout and that chasqui there, you might be able to take down the Aztec.
Yeah, I was hoping to, but then he went and killed my bandit rifleman.
Rip.
and then he escaped my snare.
Rip.
Yeah. So really, the Aztec just got fucking everything there. Really not so great here. But we have another Chasqui now, and I'm shipping 5 villagers at the moment to help kind of boost myself up a little bit. 5 villagers is such a valuable shipment for any civilization that has access to it. This is not a rush. This is very much so just a standard kind of boomy strategy where I'm just playing standard, you know, which is generally not something I do. I'm generally like a very like funky freaky kind of guy when it comes to strategies. And R5 is followed by Chincha Brewing. Chincha Brewing is an amazing card. It increases the gather rates of the Concha House resources by 60%, which is quite solid. I think it boosts them to 0.96 food per second, which is very, very solid.
Which is essentially 1 villager with hunting dogs.
Yeah.
So very good.
It's better than a villager with hunting dogs, actually. And it's just always active. There's nothing stopping them, ever, really. It's very, very, very good ability.
This is what we refer to in the Age of Empires 3 community as Concha House Boom. Or just Concha Boom.
Indeed. So we'll briefly talk about everyone else here. The Aztec player, which Aztec player is this? This is yellow, right here. Yeah, the yellow Aztec player made a lot of coyote runners and was kind of just a flex player, and made whatever needed to be done throughout the whole game. The red Aztec player made pretty much nothing but. After a while, pretty much made nothing but eagle runner knights. And a couple jaguars. I think he made a fair number of jaguars as well. The Brit player is relevant. The USA player did Gatling gun spam. And the Dutch player was an absolute G of a teammate and did whatever needed to be done. And now we're back.
Yeah, so we're back. So the jungle bowmen that you have there for Inca are a special unit.
Yeah, they serve the archer / skirmisher role of countering heavy infantry at range. However, they are as you said, they are very special compared to most archer units. You want to talk about why?
They have a poison attack, so they inflict a poison status that does damage over time, which makes them generally better at dealing with units that typically deal with skirms better, like those coyote runners, Huss. Now, they're still not great. Like, don't, say, hey, there's 5 Huss in my base, let me throw my 5 jungle bowmen at them, and, I'm sure to win it. It's like, no. But they do better against that type of shock infantry or heavy cavalry role than you typically do, because it's a different attack type, essentially.
They're also quite good at taking down artillery for the same reason. You just pump a shot and then run away and watch them die. In addition, it is very, very rare to have a archer unit that literally functions as a skirmisher, where they have a 3-second firing speed and they fire at the beginning of their animation, just like a skirmisher. Pretty much the only other archer I can think of that behaves this way is the Yumi bow, which is the reason that the Yumi bow is so good, as a matter of fact. Now, the plume spearmen it's kind of like a pikeman, but mixed with a halberdier, and they are super, super good. And they are pretty much the bread and butter with jungle bowmen, because they make such a great combo, being the heavy infantry, light infantry combo, and they have very similar costs, with jungle bowmen costing 80 food and 25 wood, and the plume spearmen costing 90 food and 25 wood. So you can basically just have the same macro of food and wood, which, as you can see, is what I'm working on here, with 17 on food with all my concha houses in addition to that, and 10 on wood. I can just focus almost entirely on just making these. And so now we're starting to do a little bit of a push here. But yeah, the plume spearman jungle bowman combo is the standard of Inca, and you will see me use it throughout this entire game.
Yeah, it is a good good little combo. It's your kind of standard pike bow, except you've got
this fucking dude just slugged a dude to death in one punch, it looks like. More coyote runners coming out. Always want to be careful with coyote runners. They are quite vulnerable to plume spearmen. But here we go. This is way more coyote runners than I was anticipating. This yellow Aztec guy made so many coyote runners.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you're probably gonna get cleaned here.
I did get pretty much cleaned, but I tried to separate these guys out from the pack so that they could get unsnared and escape a little bit. So I managed to save 4 units. That was nice. Look how many coyote runners this guy has. So many.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you know, we do have the score advantage. We are winning by a little bit. We're about 11 minutes into the game. And I've just gotten wiped, unfortunately. But we still have a score advantage. Just well, now it's pretty even. There's just me reporting my buddies, hey, yellow's got a huge coyote mass, watch out, we need some anti-cav, yada yada yada. Our Brit player is actually an age 3, which is pretty cool, and I wish this mattered. You'll see why later.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of a classic mistake, and it unfortunately happens to everyone, of shipping your wagons or eco shipments to a forward shipment point.
Yeah, that sucks. That really sucks.
You will see this happen to even the pro players, but it is something to actively be very conscious and be careful to avoid.
And
because
now we can see
lose that stuff, it sucks.
Red is also an age 3, and so now we are dealing with pretty much nothing but a huge mass of Eagle Runner Knights for the rest of the game. Lots of raiding going along here. Look at this over here. Again, I really wish this mattered. Meanwhile, I've grabbed, shipments-wise, I've shipped 700 coin. I've shipped the Team Speed card. I've shipped American Alliances so I can get Zap Attack, which are very, very nice. They're like, it's like having the ability to get, like, Cav, but for also Food Wood, because the Chimu Runner, which is the 3rd unit available in the War Hut, unfortunately costs coin, and it's very annoying. But you can get Zap Attack and kind of substitute them, so you can just run everything on. So
for the viewer at home, the American Allies card allows you to choose one of 3 different Native Americans as you can ally between the Carib Mapuche and Zap Attack. Unless you're doing something really cheeky, Carib are not a good choice.
I actually really like the Carib, but I'm the kind of guy who does really cheeky stuff, so...
Like I said, the Mapuche allow you to train dragoons, basically, that allow you to snare units. And then, yeah, and this is what is the forward. Yeah.
Thank God these guys have no siege, am I right?
Yes. But, and the Zapotec allow you to change the train those shock infantry that we were talking about. Which
they're actually heavy infantry, fun fact. They just behave like shock infantry.
They just behave like shock.
Yeah, they're basically shock infantry, but they're also good against cav and also heavy infantry. They're amazing. They're like the best parts of shock infantry and heavy infantry put together. Before, I want to take a little break and talk about the community plaza for Inca. Simply put, I find the community plaza to be absolutely fucking worthless with Inca. And I know that's probably not the right way to go about it, but I am so used to playing Aztec where, like, the community plaza is so central to the Aztec playstyle, and it's just not here. You can obviously increase your attack with it, but I honestly find that the Inca units are high enough quality and specialized enough in what they do that you really don't need to bother raising their attack using the dance. So what I tend to do is Inca starts with a llama, and a lot of players will eat this llama right away to age up a little bit faster. However, Inca has this neat ability where llamas can train on the community plaza. Now, the llamas are only worth like a quarter of a settler, so it's really generally not worth it to train a bunch of llamas and put them on the plaza, and generally if you just have one llama on the plaza, it's not really going to do a whole lot. However, Inca have one very special dance called the Moon Ceremony, which generates wood. And for whatever reason, the base regeneration rate for wood is, if anybody on there, is 1 wood per second, even if there's only one person on there. And then, whereas every other ceremony has a base of 0 per second, right? Of whatever it is. And this means that if you just put one llama on here, this llama is generating wood at a rate equivalent to 2 settlers. Even better, it's faster than 2 settlers, as a matter of fact, and it's absolutely amazing. More coyote runner hits. This yellow guy is very annoying.
Yeah.
So the llama is actually very, very, very valuable for Inca, but you just need to know how to use it right. And that's how you use it. You just set it to wood. Hi, Eagle Runner Knights. So yeah, blue called for our aid, and we're on our way. More raids going on. So yeah, just any other thoughts right now? We're in age 3. I went up with the fast age up and went with the 4 settlers and 1 town center card.
Let's see, what else to talk about right now? Don't have any Chima out on the field. Not yet. I'm assuming we'll see some at some point.
We will, but not till later. I think I do actually have a couple. No, not yet. Okay.
Not yet. So I see you're not fully contraband yet.
Am I not?
No.
Okay, I'm finishing it right now. As literally as you said it. Yeah. I'm now. Oh fucking hell! That's why my units were slow. I thought this is the train speed card. I thought this was the movement speed card. I sent the wrong card, motherfucker. I'm not usually an Inca player, but I can play them. They used to be one of my mains.
It might be good in this matchup if you're, cough 2v3ing and you need to get units out fast.
Shush, they don't know this yet. But yeah, this game is a bit of a crazy game. You can see Eagle Runner Knights are still strong even with their negative multiplier. They will not. They will no longer just solo armies, though, of units that are supposed to counter them like they used to.
Yeah. And similarly, for you newer players who might not be familiar, who've mostly been playing Euro, says the Eagle Runner Knights function as
Dragoons.
Infantry Dragoons, basically.
Oh, caught your noble hut.
Yep.
So now we're doing a big push on yellow again. And see, this is what we're talking about, where, like, even though this Gatling gun is dead, like, even though the Jungle Bowman counter Gatling guns, they're still able to fight them to a degree. Not this many, though. This many Gatling guns is suicide.
Yes.
And in fact, I'm getting wiped again here. And at this point, I'm just like, fucking run! Trying to get as many lives as I can. Yeah, not a good push there. Really, really not a great push. Look at this.
You are clicking up to 4 right now, and what are you going up with?
I'm going up with the warrior. It sends 8 Haraka.
And we should talk about the Colonca.
Yeah, the Colonca is the other military unit production building. So the War Hut trains your Age 2 units, and the Colonca trains your Age 3 units. Now, unlike the Noble Hut for Aztec, this cannot shoot. However, it can garrison units, and units that are garrisoned inside here have their population reduced by 1, so you can use the Colonca to overpop. Generally, this is only really important in... Yeah, generally this is only really, really important in treaty games. Otherwise, you can just kind of ignore this mechanic. I've also just sent a card that allows my concha houses to produce wood instead of food, which is huge because the gather rate is identical. And so now they're all doing like 0.96 wood per second plus the llama. We have more than 2 factories worth of wood production in Age 3 with 0 settlers on wood, and I can focus everybody on food and coin, which is what I do for pretty much the rest of the game. And that is like pretty much the strongest Inca's eco can get here.
Yeah, because wood naturally gathers at a slower rate. If you can get at equal, gathering rate at the conch house, it's worth several villagers just for free.
Now,
it's real nice.
To talk about the Haraka, this unit is the artillery equivalent for Inca, and it's kind of an interesting one because it counters infantry, sieges, has high siege at range, and fights relatively well against artillery, but it's not super great at any of these jobs individually. It's just kind of an all-rounder that's good at all of them. And there is actually, I don't have it in this deck here, but there is an insane shipment that you can get for Inca, where you spend about 1,500 coin and you get 22 Haraka. Literally a 22 Haraka shipment that also gives them a stat boost, I think, to range or something like that. But the Haraka will do a very, very good job as a not as a single unit army, but it's as a support unit for the rest of your army. You want a good 12 or 15 of them, but they'll do the job of fighting artillery. They'll help out in fights against infantry. They'll siege really, really nicely. You want these guys. They're very, very good. They will not they will not solo armies for you.
Again, so the age for shipment, and happens if I pronounce this correctly, is Chachapoya support, which sends 22 and adds 7 line of sight and 7 range and adds siege armor. So it makes them into pulps.
Yeah, they're amazing, basically. These were a unit that is if you are an Inca player that has played this game for a long time, the Haraka is a unit that you probably don't use and leaves a bad taste in your mouth. And this is not because the Haraka are bad. They are good units. The problem is that they used to be broken, and they no longer are broken, and they were very weak for a long time after that. And so a lot of Inca players kind of don't realize how good they are now, and as a result ignore the Haraka, despite it being just a very solid unit now. And you'll see the frequent use of Haraka against Gatling guns throughout this game. And you'll see just how quickly they kill. Now, I am generally of the opinion that Haraka are not as good as Arrow Knights. However, they definitely, even though they don't outrange artillery like Arrow Knights do, they definitely kill them faster once they do get in range. The problem is you're trading units with artillery instead of just outright winning,
Yeah.
Which is why I say that they are not great at the function of sieging, fighting infantry, or fighting artillery, but are decent enough at all three that they are still worth it.
Yeah, there's that mass that you were talking about.
Hey, look, nothing but jaguars and eagles.
I'm not getting any kills on those jaguars there.
I was kind of terrible at micro here. I should have been firing at the eagle runners a little bit more, but this is overall a fight that we have the advantage in. Our dragoons lacked support. That was an error on my end. I guess it wasn't 13 minutes. It might have been 23 minutes or 24 minutes, but you'll see some happen in effects. The blue player was very helpful during a small portion of this game, and this is that portion right here where the blue player was immensely helpful. He had the dragoons. I wasn't there to help him out, and we low-key lost this fight because of that. But the power of Inca is amazing because I can just focus pretty much my entire eco on. Oh, hi there. I can just pretty much focus my entire eco on food, and it's okay because the conch houses will cover my wood. Like, I've had 0 people on wood forever, and I still have 1,600 despite making army after army of unit that uses wood. It's one of Inca's very, very big strengths, is that you can pretty much get away with an entire economy focused on food, and that's it, once you hit age 3.
Mm-hmm.
You need your whole economy focused on wood in age 2, and then food in ages 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, these coyotes are just being real nasty.
If you heard that little bell sound effect, that means somebody quit, and it was the blue player. Which is why we talked about this game here. Which is why I recorded this game, because, you know, we were 3v2ing from now on, and we're only halfway through the game, so we went for quite a ways longer. But that was a big blow to us, because now it's just 3v2 against 3 people who are admittedly very, very, like, competent with their civilizations. Here's the Bolus Warrior. It's kind of a weird unit. It's kind of like a Dragoon replacement, like the Eagle Runner, but it's actually more like a Carolean, but it also snares from range and has area of... It's a weird unit. It's a counter to cavalry. It does it at range, and it snares them at range, and it has area of effect at range, and it's bad at pretty much everything else. But I find it very, very helpful to dealing with helping with these raids here. So I built a Colonca up in the back of my base. But it's pretty much only downhill from here. Big, massive Eagle Runners coming in. I'm trying to get enough skirmishers to fight the Eagle Runners. At this point, I have 3 town centers. I would probably have closer to 80 vills at this point right now if I hadn't been raided over and over again by the damn yellow player. But it is what it is. God, look at these concha houses. So beautiful.
Yeah, nice looking market.
So this is all infantry, so I think this right here is where I make a unit that we haven't seen yet for the first time, and that is the Chimu Runner.
It's the Chimu.
It's the Chimu!
So, at launch of DE back in 2020, these guys were broken.
Yes, they can achieve 7 speed, and they 7.25 speed in stealth. Actually, closer to 8 speed, come to think of it.
Well, I'm more just referring to the fact that they were unsnarable entirely.
Yeah, now they just have a button that makes them unsnarable, which is still amazing.
Well, it's still good, but at least it's not a permanent stat boost. Like, they're not always unsnarable. You can be unsnarable for a time.
I don't know what happened here. My Chimus just stopped attacking. That was really weird. I didn't notice that. I was focused on this over here, trying to.
Yeah.
That really sucks. Yeah, this yellow player, fucking more raids. This yellow player was a thorn in our side for a very long time. I'm actually gonna fast forward a bit. At this point, I'm sending Son of Inca. Really cool card, and I totally forgot to utilize it this whole game, which really sucks. Because I bothered sending it, but I forgot to do anything with it. I'm a guy who loves explorers and making use of explorer, and Son of Inca is a badass card. So, strictly speaking, everybody says that Aztec's war chief is the best. And in actuality, they're right. Aztec has the best war chief by a mile. However, it's not in max stats. In terms of max stats and abilities, it's the Inca war chief is actually a little bit better than the Aztec war chief. However, you have to wait until age 4 in order to use the Inca war chief, and also priestesses are not as good as warrior priests. And as a result, there is a lot less, despite having better stats, there is a lot less utility for strategies to be based around your explorer. However, once you're in age 4, I mean, there's nothing stopping you from sending Son of Inca here and boosting all of your damage by 500%, adding 2 area of effect to your war chief and the swashbuckler attack. Like, fucking why not, you know? It's just the problem is he's over here right now. He's got a hand attack of 60 with 2 area of effect and 1800 HP. Swashbuckler attack of 400 damage. And then the crack shot attack of 460 at range. Like, yes, please. My god.
Ooh, that's a lot of Gatling.
Yes, it is. Fuck the USA player, man. That guy was a pain in the ass. Now you'll notice right now that I have no coin, but I have 50 people on food right now, and a lot of wood, and I need coin because I need to make Haraka. And you'll see in a little bit that you can do this cool little thing where you just sell your shit metric fuck tons of food and wood, because pretty much none of the coin mines are safe. They're all on the fringes, and over here is like a death sentence because fucking yellow keeps sending raid after raid after
yeah,
raid.
look at right about there, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? You can just sell a whole bunch of shit and make your Harakas that way, and it just kind of works. You really only need a food economy as Inca, and it's kind of funny how true this rings. Now we're gonna fast forward a little bit here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a lull. Dutch is putting up a fort. The
cool thing is you can easily take down artillery with just 5 Haraka here. I just floored 2 Gatlings, which is really cool. However, you have to get in range, and they kill them a lot faster than the Arrow Knights do. However, the Arrow Knights do it without taking damage or dying because they outrange by artillery by a lot. So it doesn't. So they're still better. But the Haraka are really good. You know, I do like the Haraka as a unit, and I think it has its place. You just can't base your entire army off of it.
No.
They used to be so broken. They used to just, like, annihilate everything, like, even cavalry.
Yeah. Okay, got the, nerf hammer pretty hard.
You see, in addition to Gatling gun spamming, he's also wall spamming!
Walls.
Oh my god, the USA player was such a cool game. I need to actually censor that word because that automatically gets your video demonetized on YouTube now. But
let's avoid that.
It's such an accurate it's such an accurate phrase to describe this asshole.
Well, it'll be replaced by beep in post.
Yeah. And he was a jackass at the end of the game too. You'll kind of see some chat, some back talk between me and the enemies at the end of the game here. But the USA guy was just an asshole, just all around.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing some. Yeah, we're pushing over here, while they push into this side. Luckily, they have to get through a fort first, but that fort is not long for this world.
Not with close to 10 Gatlings and an entire army.
Yeah. Those cavalry got all dead.
Yep.
And so are these warrior priests.
Yeah. Unfortunately, those coyotes are...
There's not enough coyotes here to stop me.
No, there's not enough to stop.
Not to mention I got the champions lightning warriors in here.
So that's huge punishment to the Aztec there.
Oh, big time, man. I think he's pulling his whole army back too, or no, he's still pushing in. Yeah, we basically are doing a base trade at this point. But, you know, what can I do? I can't march my army all the way back here.
No, you cannot. It has to be this. And you just have to hope that, you know, you trade better into them than they trade into you.
Indeed.
Well, it certainly looks like it's a good
We're playing very, very well and very, very aggressively.
Oh, look, you sent the dogs.
I did send the dogs. They got that dog in them, you know? Inca got that dog in them.
Yeah, the Peruvian dogs are a unique pet available to the Inca.
They're trainable with the warrior with the war chief, who is still down. Very annoying. The other problem, yeah, let's talk about the other problem. This war chief, despite having a cab multiplier, is really, really sucky because he's the only war chief in the game with the heavy infantry tag. So even though he's got those higher stats, he's still worse than the Aztec war chief because he gets countered by skirmishers. It really sucks.
That is.
Goodbye, Gatlings.
Gatlings be gone.
God.
Oh god.
For those of you who are new to the game, this right here is peak toxic strategy from USA. This is like absolutely toxic.
He doesn't have coffee mill guns
You know,
yet.
you know why he doesn't have coffee mill guns? It's because he forgot to age 4. If he was age 4, he would absolutely have coffee mill guns by now. Gatling guns are one of the most, like, hilarious. Pure Gatling guns is one of the most hilarious and toxic strats as the United States. And I would know, I've done it.
So have I. At this point, it is more of a meme than valid, but it's still
valid. It's still valid. But this guy had the gall, after fighting us for 20 minutes by the time this game ends in 2v3, to be like, easy, you guys suck in chat. Well, I'm able to unleash this in a 2v3?
Yeah, you are still doing... You are sitting on 6k res right now. You're an age ahead of the USA player. Yeah.
I'm currently making some Haraka to help deal with these guys over here.
Yeah.
God, this is so nice. And we're slowly taking... I've lost a good chunk of my base here. Nothing I can really do about that, though. And I just finished getting wiped over here after clearing out a significant chunk of their base.
A very significant chunk.
And in case you're wondering what Green's been doing, he's been fighting on this front over here for most of the game. So he was... And he's still been helpful in helping to fight this as well. Unfortunately, he tried to make some calls to deal with these, but they just got caught by the Skull Knights and died pretty much immediately.
Yeah, that was 150 XP each. That's rough.
But now I'm pretty much good to, like, take down these guys, so I'm working my way backwards. I got some more Haraka here. Dutch Halberdiers are so good. Look at these stats. These are veteran stats. He's got 36 attack. And there it goes. And now, all we can really do is regroup again.
Yep.
We've taken out a small portion, but, you know, it was still a good attack.
That's a sizable chunk of
Yellow has
Green's
rebuilt
base.
down here. There's layer after layer after layer of walls. I'm trying to build up walls of my own here. And then, yeah, this is what my buddy has to deal with for the rest of the game, basically.
Just an entire wall of Jaguar Prowlights.
And meanwhile, what the fuck is this?
No idea.
God, Orange was such a jackass. He's still age 3, which is super funny. Is he aging to 4 by now? No, he's
Nope.
not aging to 4. I don't know why not. He's got no he's just running purely on H3 economy for Gatling guns. That's not the way you want to do Gatling guns.
He's on 38 vills, too.
What a weirdo. But, yeah. And this was the beginning of the end for us.
Yeah.
I'm putting together another army for one final push. And I know we lost 20 minutes ago when our buddy when our buddy quit on us super early.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, but I'm doing one last push before I go out, man.
Gotta take out a little bit more.
Indeed. Only way to win is to be aggressive. And god damn it, I'm good at that. My economy shuts down, and it will stay that way for the rest of the game. Oh my god, that's so painful to look at.
Yeah, that hurts. Just a little bit of misclicking or just AI being dumb and not targeting the Gatlings.
But yeah, this is overall, you know, this is the way you want to play Inca. You turtle up, you concha boom, you make the infantry you need. Your bread and butter is the jungle bowman and the plume spearman and whatever else you want to make, and it works, you know. But at this point, I knew the game was over. My ally has just quit. It's just me. And there will be a little bit of shit-talking happening from now.
You're at the point now where you're gonna make them earn like
yeah, fucking Mr. H3 Gatling gun no eco over here is like easy. I'm like, oh, it was a 2v3 for half the game, but you know, I think we did pretty well given that. And these guys are like, bro, you're blaming your teammates. Strange excuse to say.
Strange excuse to say that it was a 3v.
No one cares, bro. These guys were all just assholes. I'm like, must you be so negative?
Okay. Guys, for anyone listening, don't be these guys.
Yeah, don't
Please,
be these assholes.
don't
Be
guys.
graceful winners.
Don't say
Like, this was a
easy
fun
unless
game.
don't say easy unless you lose. Then it's just funny.
Yeah, GG easy when you lose. I gotta start doing that.
Then
Yeah,
then
it says
it's
don't
just
blame
funny.
your team. Like, what do you mean don't blame my team? He quit 20 minutes ago.
But yeah, GG easy is acceptable if you are the one who loses and you say it, but never say that to anyone.
This actually,
That's your win.
this actually does have a happy ending. You'll see in something in chat pop up here because they're like, stop blaming your teammates, blah 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 blah. You lost. And I was like, I admit we lost, but you can admit that blue left early, right? And I don't think they were really paying attention to like the status quo. Red here says I'd have to see the graphs. So at that point I said, okay, well, let's see the graphs. And I quit. And I said, yeah, take a look at the graphs. And yeah, there's the quit. And then in the post game, he actually sent out another message that said, okay, you were right. Like, this would have been a lot better of a game if he didn't quit. It was 20 minutes ago. So
Yep.
It does have a happy ending. Red was not an asshole. It was just orange. But overall, don't be orange. Don't be orange. And if you want to play Inca, you know, I think this is a pretty good example of how to do it, despite the fact that we lost. Because we went out in style and we played. I did not have the best micro in this game, admittedly, but I also am not super used to Inca. I know how to play them. I don't know how to play them well. We can put it that way. I know how to play them, and I play them decent. I'm not a pro with them, and I'm not super good at their micro. I think that might have to do with the fact that I'm generally not a standard player, and I use, like, balls-to-the-wall crazy shit strategies. But, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Do you have any last words, Steven?
Go play the Inca. They're fun.
Yeah, go play the Inca. They're free to play now. All right, have a great day, everybody, and goodbye.